All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. I just wanted to hop on here and give a little presentation as to how and why I chose LifeVantage, how we got started, the company, and if you would like to take this in your own direction, you can choose to do that as well. So welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join me tonight. I really appreciate you. And out of all the things that you could be doing, you're hanging out with me. And so thank you for that. So first, we're just going to talk about the take it, feel it, share it. Before I get into the slides, I just want to give you a little bit about my background. I had been on the natural path for quite some time. I'm surrounded by a lot of people who know a lot of things and do things differently, and so I'm grateful for that. Um, and it wasn't until a couple years ago that I had registered my son for homeschool basketball league. We were 2 weeks late with registration, and it's just kind of how we roll. But the coach was so generous to let us join, and it was there that I met, excuse me, my friend and mentor, Amy Dippold. And I was just observing what she was doing, working from home with earbuds in her ear, had a cell phone, and she was managing her own business from a basketball court or from the car or wherever. So that piqued my interest. And I had just gotten over this virus of 2020. I don't know if you remember this or not, but um, uh, she and I were talking about this during a basketball practice, and she had mentioned the word oxidative stress. And I had no idea what that was, but I understood the natural things and I understood the herbs that were involved with the tablet that she was taking. And so I was intrigued. It took me about another week to really fully grasp it, but I wanted to learn more and I wanted to know more about how she was able to do this as a business. And so shortly after that conversation, I wanted it all. And I just remember thinking back to my countertop full of supplements from the left to the right was filled with them. And I remember asking Amy what she took, and she showed me one tablet and 4 capsules. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I thought, man, if I can just reduce my regimen down to that, then we're golden. And so that's when I started learning more, and I said yes to the business. And it was just a few short weeks after that I made my return on investment, and I have been a part of LifeVantage for now 2 years, and I have never looked back, and I've enjoyed every second of it. And so I hope that through this presentation, you will understand why I decided to say yes, and you will learn a lot more. You might have questions at the end, and that's okay. I will hang on for a little bit, but if you just get back with the person that invited you, then you are more than welcome to ask them questions, and they will put you in touch with the right people as well. So I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Take it, share it, feel it. This is how, and we all got started. So back in the 1960s, this doctor here, Dr. Joe McCord, he was a scientist in a lab, and he discovered a molecule in our bodies called SOD. You're going to hear that term quite a bit. It stands for superoxide dismutase. And what it is an antioxidant enzyme that fights free radical damage as we age. And so because he discovered this molecule, he spent his entire career trying to figure out how to activate this molecule. And so he tried the drugs, those didn't work. And when everything else failed, he went to herbs. And what he discovered is that 5 herbs blended together in micro doses actually activated this molecule in our bodies. And so he devoted his entire career to making known this little yellow activator, what we now call it, Protandim NRF2. He launched it into market in 2003. And because of all of his claims of lowering oxidative stress and making our blood that of a newborn, of course, the media got a hold of it, and ABC Primetime Investigative Report came in, and they wanted to debunk our claims. You know, when you watch ABC Primetime, by the end of it, the people that are on there are usually hiding their faces. They're running away with capes over their faces so that they can't be ever identified ever again because of all the falsehoods. But what actually ended up happening in our case is that ABC Primetime validated our claims on national television. And so because of this, this little scientist in a lab, the sales went through the roof overnight, and he was unable to fulfill all of the orders. And so he actually had to switch from retail Our Protandim actually sat on the shelves of GNC, Rite Aid, Walgreens, but because of the media attention, he had to take the product off the shelf and switch to direct sales in 2009. And that's where I come in. And I have loved just sitting down with people and educating them on what this is, why it's different, and why it's far beyond any supplement that is out there in the market today. We are a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, so you can buy stock. LFVN is our code. And after all of this, several universities and prestigious medical centers began doing their own research on Protandim NRF2. So normally companies will fund their own company to do clinical trials or things like that, but this is third-party validation, another source of that, where they're coming in and they're pouring millions of dollars into their own research based on our claims. And we're going to talk about what some of those findings were in just a bit, but I think it's important to point out, too, that Dr. Joe McCord also won the Elliott Crescent Medal. This puts him in the same ranks as Henry Ford, the Wright brothers, and Alexander Graham Bell. So this isn't just, flipsy-floozy type of award. This is a big deal. And for him discovering that inside of our bodies is simply amazing, and so grateful that he was able to do that and had the tools necessary to figure out how to activate that so that we could age well. So what is oxidative stress? That phrase that I had no idea what it was, even though I'd been on the natural path for quite some time. Oxidative stress is free radical damage. It's the bad guys inside of our bodies. And it looks different for everybody. We all have it. We all carry it. But for some of us, it's in our heart. For some of us, it's in our skin. Yeah, psoriasis or eczema. For some of us, it's in our joints, fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis. You might recognize some of these diseases. Oxidative stress is linked to over 200 disease processes. It is the root of all of that. And so you might have a poor immune system because of oxidative stress. It could happen in your brain. Things like dementia and Alzheimer's is a sign of free radical damage there and oxidative stress levels that are high there. But you don't have to take it from me. You can go to pubmed.gov. This is where all the doctors go to figure out their research and to try to help their patients with whatever it is that they're going through. And so if you type in oxidative stress today in pubmed.gov or pubmed.gov, you will find over 318,000 results. And so if this is the root cause of all that inflammation, which leads to disease, what would it be like for you or for somebody you know to reduce that oxidative stress? I think it would be something that you would want to at least look into a little bit more. So why do we have it? Why do we have oxidative stress? Well, since the Industrial Revolution, over 80,000 new chemicals have been in our world. And so we are living in a highly toxic environment, anything from herbicides, pesticides, fungicides. Here living in Iowa, we see it all the time. Crops are sprayed daily. That's all contributing to oxidative stress. We see it in our diet. I'm not the best eater in the world, but I do try. But if you're not shopping the outside of the grocery store and you're only looking in the inside, then you're not getting the best nutrients that they have to offer. Processed sugars, processed food, bioengineered or GMO modified, those things like that. All of those things contribute to oxidative stress. Smoking and alcohol, that's probably an obvious one. The air pollution. We have a lot of the new Wi-Fi, the EMF radiation and things like that, just from cell towers, and all of that leads to high levels of oxidative stress. Poor sleep, high stress, little to no exercise can also be contributing factors into why we may have levels of oxidative stress. So that's what it is, but what does it feel like? Well, it feels like chronic fatigue. It feels like no energy, brain fog, lack of concentration. Do any of these look familiar to you? Do any of these symptoms seem like, yeah, that's something that I've experienced before? Maybe aches and pains, maybe that you're really sick often, maybe that you have headaches. That was me. I got an epidural when my daughter was born, and for every 2 weeks for the last decade, I had those headaches where it just was like 4 to 8 hours of pain where you felt like you just slamming your head against the headboard felt better. turning off the lights and covering your face with a pillow made more sense than dealing with the headache that was going on. But I can attest that I have not had a single one of those headaches in the last 2 years that I've been activated. So I'm super, super grateful for that. We don't claim to cure, treat, prevent, mitigate anything, but man, when stories keep coming back, all we can help to do is rejoice with the people who are having success. So here is a typical cell, and then with oxidative stress, it just gets worse and worse. And you could just, even just go to cut an apple in half and set it on the counter, and after a little bit, what's going to happen to it? It's going to turn brown, right? You leave a bike in the rain and it's going to rust, right? Well, the same thing is happening to our cells. It's the rusting of our cells. So what is Protandim Nrf2 and why do we need it? Well, we can legally claim that it lowers oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days, 70% with continued use. It increases that superoxide dismutase molecule that Dr. Joe McCord found by 30%. It increases catalase, which is another antioxidant enzyme which gobbles up those free radicals, by 54%. And then it increases, this one I love the most, it increases glutathione by 300%. So if like a lot of people were going to get injections of glutathione during the virus, and people still do it today when they feel extra sick or they need an extra boost. But at the 3-month mark, if you're taking Protandim, then it's already increasing that naturally. And I didn't know this coming into this, but actually glutathione is produced endogenously in your liver. So God already put these defense mechanisms in our body. We just have to go in and activate them. And we can do that now based on what we have learned and what we have found. Protandim Nrf2 is the only dietary supplement proven to extend life in male mice. I don't know why it's always the males who get the longer life, but the women always seem to get the bad end of the stick. But anyways, the National Institute on Aging did that study, and they're a really big deal. And so again, they poured their money into all of this so that they could have this study for us today. It's BSCG certified. And so anybody who's like an Olympic athlete or bodybuilders in competitions, things like that, they can take this freely without getting caught for doping. It's also NSF certified. So whatever you see on the product is in the product. So the 5 herbs that are in this, which I was taking separately, playing mad scientist beforehand, but now I don't have to because it's proven to work. So you have turmeric, and which is an anti-inflammatory. You have milk thistle, which is an anti-detoxer. You have bacopa, which is a brain relaxer. You have green tea extract, which is an energy booster, and you have ashwagandha, which is kind of that stress and calming factor. So all 5 of these together produce more synergy, 1,800% more synergy than any of these one taken individually. So we, again, a lot of outside entities came and did their own research. We have 28 peer-reviewed studies. I think it's even more, up to like 30, 31. Just a couple I want to point out is Harvard. They just say to take it. And then the American Heart Association, they have a circulation magazine. And Protandim is the only natural product in their circulation magazine because of what it's capable of doing for people with heart issues. We know of a doctor that worked up at Avera Heart Hospital in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that he said he was able to help more patients proactively on Protandim than he ever was reactively on medication. And so he was able to retire because of this. And another one I want to point out is Louisiana State University. They did a study on melanoma skincare patients, and they came back and said that because of the decrease, 40 to 55% of decrease in melanoma skincare on patients, that we need to make a topical. And so that's what we did. So first we had the tablet, which you do orally, and then they created a skincare line of topical to help fight the signs of that cancer on the outside as well. And so why is this different than activation? It's different because why is this different than supplementing? It's different because when you supplement, you are putting something into your body to fight these free radicals that are so bad for us on a 1-to-1 ratio. So you can eat all the oranges on the planet that you want to. You can eat all the blueberries in the world. You can eat all the broccoli. You can take 120 vitamin C tablets daily. But you're still not going to be neutralizing those free radicals as much as you want to or as much as you should. But when you activate your body, when you take one tablet of those 5 herbs, you activate those genetic pathways, you upregulate those antioxidant enzymes, you're now fighting free radical damage on a 1 to a million to 1. And so it's quite the difference as far as taking something synthetically from an outside inside approach versus an inside outside approach where you're activating what God already put inside of you. So because of this, NRF2, this is what Washington State University says, potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. And I want to touch base real fast on another product that we do carry. It's called Axio, and this is a brain food. This is something that we don't go a day without in my household. This is something that is just energy for your day without the jitters. It gives mental clarity. It gives focus. It comes in regular and decaf, but the handwriting that you see on the side, I'm not sure whose it is, but I can attest to you that in my house, this is what it would look like. Just before being activated and having that activating of the brain, handwriting can be sloppy, homework can be not as neat, it cannot be as, like just not as focused and as motivated to do things. And so we don't really start our day or anything else without Axio. And we see lots of this as far as like the focus change when those things are implemented. We actually also have a neuroscientist who did a brain mapping study. This is Dr. Jeffrey Fannin, and he was able to take a kiddo who was had some inflammation in his brain. And before taking NRF1, which is another activator that we have, NRF2, which we just talked about, and then this Axio drink, you can see on the left that there was quite a bit of inflammation in both slides, top and bottom. And then afterward, how much that had improved just by activating his body and his brain. Another product that we have that just came out, it launched in 2022, and I'm so super excited about it. At first, I wasn't. I didn't know how I was going to talk about collagen because I'm not really a skin, hair, and nails type of person. But then I started learning about why ours is different and why it's so important. I did not know that collagen, kala, actually means glue. And it's what holds our bodies together. And so if we didn't have collagen, we would just be like blobs going around on the floor, and we don't want that. And so we have to have collagen. And so why do we need it? Well, it's the structural protein that makes up 25 to 35% of all the proteins in our body. It's produced from amino acids that we take in from food, and this process of degradation starts around the age 25 to 30. And so that's where you get that saggy skin, that crepey looking skin, wrinkle things on your body and things like that. So why did we put it in a liquid? We put it in a liquid for better bioavailability. Simple as that. When you're taking protein or when you're taking collagen from, a powder form, it's not as easily digestible and you're not getting everything that you need. It's really hard for collagen to break down into smaller pieces. And so we just made it easier for you to be better absorbed in your body. It also comes in a glass bottle, which I love. So it's just more of a preservation thing than anything. So why is our collagen different? Well, it's different because it activates your own collagen density. And we can legally say that. We have a study showing that just in 8 weeks, your collagen density was increased by 100%. And so you're not just taking collagen like you're taking a supplement, you're actually going in and you're making your own collagen, you're producing it on your own. And then secondly, we replenish, and thirdly, we maintain. So how do we activate our own collagen production? It's a secret ingredient that I'm gonna tell you about right now. It's called ruby red quinoa, and it activates these genes that you see on the screen to boost your collagen production by 5 times. And remember that SOD that we talked about, superoxide dismutase, that molecule in our body? Well, when you take our collagen, it's activating that gene by 2,700%. So this is like off the charts. We're set apart. Nothing on the market can do this. It also activates the catalase gene by 202%. And then it activates type 1 collagen increase by 42%. So we're not just activating, or we're not just simply taking collagen, we're making it. And this is a study that we did. So at week 0, you can see, I don't know about you, but this diagram to me looks like a mattress. And so like you think about sleeping on a mattress with like you've had it for 60 years and it's just all crumbly and there's hardly any firmness. You just like rest on it and your like body goes straight to the floor. That's how I picture week 0. And then you start adding collagen or more padding to that bed and it's increased, and you see by week 8 how much collagen density is increased. So it's pretty remarkable what it can do in just a short amount of time. And why can we replenish our collagen? It's because of these peptides. We have marine peptides that help support skin elasticity and skin moisture to keep our collagen from degrading, and we're able to better maintain it. One interesting fact about our collagen also is that it contains 10 types of collagen. If you go to Costco or Sam's Club and you just pick up a bottle of collagen and it's powder, typically there's only 1 or 2 types of collagen for skin, hair, and nails, but ours has 10 different types of collagen. So it's useful for your joints, it's useful for your eyeballs, it's useful for your gut. You know, collagen surrounds most of our major organs, and so we're not just going into skin, hair, and nails on the surface, but we're also going to where your body needs the collagen the most, which I think is phenomenal. We also know that there is a type in here that researchers are studying now that they want to keep cancer cells dormant, and the type of cancer, or the type of collagen that can keep that dormant, is actually in our collagen. So it's another fun fact, another way that this is far more superior than what you are purchasing at your local grocery store. And so to maintain this look, we have citrus berry extract, which makes it taste so good too. It doesn't taste like fish and you're not burping up fish, but it tastes very yummy and good. And so this is a way for your skin to create more of its own natural moisture for a healthy, glowing complexion. What's not in it? No added sugar, no added sweeteners. It's non-GMO, dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, all the things that you would want in something that you're putting inside your body. Here is an 8-week clinical trial result. So we have increased collagen density by 42%. We have skin roughness reduced by 10%, reduced crow's feet by 22%. I just want to stop on this one. This is what people who inject themselves with Botox, this is what they hope for, 22% increase or reduction in crow's feet. But to be able to do that naturally, that's a pretty big deal. And then we talked about Protandim already, but when you put these 2 products together, it's amazing what the results can be, but it increases collagen density by that 100%. And then you're also still reducing oxidative stress, your free radical damage, by 40% in 30 days. So they're great on their own, but together they pack a more powerful punch, and something that I think, you know, if you're going to try the collagen, you got to at least put the Protandim with it too for better outcome. I could talk all day about this, but I want to just show a few pictures here. A lot of neck pictures coming in, and what it's doing for men and women in that regard. Just after 7 days, you can see a huge difference in the neck here. And then we have even just eye lift and a smoother skin. People with rosacea, psoriasis, things like that, it's really helped them reduce the redness. And the whites of the eyes, under eyes, it's very, very much helped that. We see a lot of people's eyes going from like a more of like a yellowish color to bright white, and you can tell a lot about a person's health based on their eyes. So we'll see that, we do see that quite a bit. So here's a couple leg pictures. This is Dr. Nancy Bryan. She's a pharmacologist with LifeVantage, and these are her legs. I have friends that went to Punta Cana with her a few months ago, and they were swimming, and she was in a swimsuit, and her legs definitely do look like this. So just again, think of how it's helping on the outside. Here's some more pictures. Just again, the brightness of the face, more skin texture, moisture, helps with the vascular system as well. You can see how well this gentleman's arms improved just in a short 45 days. It's pretty spectacular. A couple more there. After 120 days, she looks like a completely different person. Just phenomenal. So people are already seeing these signs on the outside. Can you imagine what's happening on the inside? I mean, it really does beg the question. We see a lot of people with gut health being restored. One of the gals in this photo, she had just lost her mom and she was in a really dark fog. And she felt like after she was taking the collagen for a while because of the brain and all of that, she was able to find joy again, is what she said. So lots of things happening on the inside and outside as well. We just revamped our skincare line, so we'll talk just briefly about that. We have a cleanser, we have True Renew, helps with laugh lines, things like that. True Lift helps with under eyes, puffiness, and even with the baggies stuff underneath. And then True Hydrate is something that you can just do overall to help keep the moisture on your face locked in. So this is something that we've always had the skincare line, but they upgraded it, and it's doing wonders for people. I just want to touch base real fast on the True Renew firming cream. It's the second thing in the skincare system that you would apply. It's a better than retinol alternative. It combats 11 visible signs of aging, and it's got 11 serums in one. So, and it's a fair cost, and I think that's amazing. So here's just a couple photos of the skincare system. This is a kiddo who obviously is struggling with some acne. 2 weeks after the skincare system, you can see a huge change there. This gal was activated on Nerf 2 and collagen already, but she added the skincare line there, and you can see even more reduction in the lines along her eyes. And then this gentleman was activated on Nerf 2 as well, and he just did the firming cream, which we just talked about, that serum cream, better than retinol alternative, and you can see a difference in his in his skin there in just a matter of a week. So this is LifeVantage. We talked about a few of these products, but this slide will show you all of the products that we offer, from hair care to skincare to pet tandem. If your dogs need to get activated, they can. We have essential nutrients, vitamin D3. We have essential minerals for the morning and for night that tie up to your circadian rhythm. So those are great for sleeping if anybody needs help there, or just feeling energized in the morning. Probiotic and prebiotic for gut health and regularity, if anyone is interested in that. And then we have 2 other activators as well that help with mitochondria health and their function, and then the overall health of the cell as well. So these are just a real quick slide of all the things that we do offer. And so at this point, you may be ready to start your own transformation and begin living a life activated. And I just want to touch base a bit on the business, because I don't ever want to prejudge, and I don't ever want to think that anybody's not willing or not looking for something else. We live in an economy right now where things are just so inflated and numbers are crazy, and we're spending thousands of dollars more on groceries and gas than we ever did even just 18 months ago. And so as a single parent who was always looking for an extra income, this has definitely been something that I have been able to rely on, and not have to worry about some of those things because of this business. And this business honestly is just a direct reflection of the lives that I've helped along the way. And so if you're interested in something like this is a great side income. Eventually I do want it to be my plan A, and to grow this enough to help as many people as I can. But it's just so simple to join and to be a part of a culture that is beyond anything that I have ever experienced before. So the first step, if you do choose to become a consultant, is to sign on with an enrollment pack. And so we have a few options where you can pick from, starting at around $250 to $300. You can just have some of the products and be a product of those, or you can come in with the business pack, which is all of the product and then some, for $9.99. And this is the one that I chose to come in with. Even though I really didn't have $1,000 to spare, I just kind of put it in the Lord's hands and said, this is your business, you take it where you want it. And like I said in the beginning, I was able to make that return on investment in 2 weeks. And so I've just been so grateful for that, and grateful for the people who I've been able to help along the way. So the first step would be just to choose one of these enrollment packs. And then the second step would just be to pick a stack. And that means you get set up on a monthly subscription. So you can decide what products you would like to come each month. And you can change it from month to month. And that's completely up to you. But yeah, in order to continue on in the business, then you just have to have a monthly subscription going out. And that's pretty much it. So it's the perfect side income. There's no assets, there's no overhead, we don't have employees. Products are shipped directly from the website to the customer. So we're not housing anything underneath our desks or in our cupboards where we have to get rid of product at the end of the month. No, it's just like Amazon. You order online and it's delivered right to your doorstep. You can work from anywhere, and that's true. You have a cell phone, you have an app that you're given, a free app and a free website. And so you truly can do this from a car, from a basketball game, like I mentioned at the beginning, wherever you would like. It's your business, and you can run it how you would like. We have an amazing customer service call center. We have a board of directors. We have a CEO. And also we're debt free, which I love that, with millions of dollars in reserve. So lots of benefits to join LifeVantage. And here's a picture of us getting to ring the bell for collagen. When it first came out, we tripled in sales very early on. And so we were invited to ring the NASDAQ bell because of that. So, and above is just a picture of some of our teammates in the local area. And I'm not kidding you, you'll be surrounded by people who love you and want to see you succeed, and check on you and pray with you and do all of that. So it's just a community of like-minded, life-minded people. So with that, I just want to close with Erin Brockovich's quote. She says, if you follow your heart, if you listen to your gut, and if you extend your hand to help another, not for any agenda, but for the sake of humanity, you are going to find the truth. And she's a gal that definitely is going to sniff out the truth. And if it's not there, she's going to call you out on it. But I do love her. And one quick fact about her is that she actually sits on our board of directors. And so just another benefit and another reason why I wanted to join LifeVantage, and why so many other people have wanted to join along the way. So we just want to keep growing. And so if this is something that is of interest to you, whether it's through the business or whether it's through just the products, then I just encourage you to get back with the person who invited you, and they can certainly answer those questions for you. So with that, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here. I truly appreciate you, and I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful night. Good night.